Welcome back to another episode of the Randy Wilson Podcast. I'm your host, Randy Wilson. This is episode 98. It's been a minute. I took like 5, 6 weeks off. That's the first time I've not recorded in like that length of time. But I've been trying to like slowly release content, a little bit, just some stuff I've had back. But we back and we back better than ever with none other than DJ Sir RJ. You've known him for a long time, Richmond. I mean, he's been DJing since he was 15 years old. I've been
Yes, sir.
doing a little bit of homework, originally a dancer, but I'm not gonna get too far ahead. Let me not get too far ahead. Remember, you can get this podcast found to you everywhere the podcasts are played. This is the Randy Wilson Podcast, being powered behind Spin 100 FM. We coming, stay tuned. We got some things planned as I'm approaching 100 at Spin 100. You may see some new type of creative visuals come to the internet as well as come to the airwaves soon. So make sure you guys stay locked into the Randy Wilson Podcast. But episode 98 is about DJ Sir RJ, and an interview that I've been really wanting to do for a long time. And divine timing, all things happened at the time they're supposed to happen. I seen him recently talking and giving game with AWOL Beats, and some of the commentary there inspired me. So hey, RJ, I'm really glad that we're having this conversation, man. Thank you for being on the show.
Man, thank you for having me. As always, man, thank you for all your contributions to the game, and especially with the podcast business. I'm new to it. I've been in the game for a minute. Like you said, I started off dancing, realized I couldn't pay my bills dancing. So I jumped into the DJing game. And from then to now, 2022, in the podcast world, like you said, AWOL, that was my first one with him. I salute the brother. I respect their hustle and how they got it going. And you're one of the ones that I had heard about for a long time. We just never had a chance to collaborate at all.
Yeah.
So when I hit you up, I was like, man, I would love to come through anything to contribute to the city of Richmond, Central VA. And I'm here, man. So thank you.
Yeah, and when you get that type of message and you talking to Sir RJ, you don't wait. You get right to it. The only thing for me that I'm a little disappointed about, and it's only timing, is that we're gonna have a conversation face to face. We are gonna do that.
Yes, sir.
But you know what? I mean, like we in a time where we haven't been able to allow anything to hold us back because we've been going through COVID. So like I'm done with people acting like these conversations don't matter, because these conversations matter too. COVID has taught us how to push through and create content, so we about that work tonight. We're going to get right to it, man. Like, because we don't have I haven't really had this depth of a conversation. So I'm going to ask them everything that comes to mind. And I'm going to roll. I'm going to roll. Well, let me start off. Let me try to be strategic about it, because I could just start going off the gate. But let me slow down. First and foremost, Richmond native, started DJing, if I'm correct, at 15 years old. You did try the dancing route, but I guess my first question is this: I get the impression that you are a dancer, and and the reason why I say that is because when I think about you as a DJ, and I think about the places I've been in Richmond for almost and I just feel like I don't know what happened first with you. Did you meet your crowd, or did and the reason why I say this is because I feel like your music, sometimes you play music that really caters to a broad demographic of Virginia. Mm-hmm. You got that go-go thing with your music. Mm-hmm. You got the dance. So I'm curious, like when you got into the game, did you meet your crowd, or did you kind of bring your crowd into your taste of music?
Well, honestly, when I first came in the game, like I said, I was doing, the breakdance and pop lock and all of that, which was more of the inner city crowd. It wasn't so much the counties were doing it, but more of the inner city was really into the dancing. And we had a place at Chuck E. Cheese and Merchants Mart Shopping Center back in the day. And it was more of the inner city that was actually going there doing the dancing. So after that, just keeping it honest, I was a kid going into high school. I had some bills to pay. I was like, well, damn, I see that DJing maybe can bring in some revenue. So let me try to balance dancing and DJing. then DJing took over my world. And at that time, DC Go-Go, Chuck Brown, Run Joe, all that kind of stuff was really DJ Cool. Everything was coming to play. And that kind of helped form me into like, man, I love this go-go stuff. I love the inner city of Richmond. Let me see if I can combine the two worlds together and bring like that DC flavor inside of Richmond and bring also the inner city Richmond to life, you know? And I probably was one of the first ones outside of the Z-Rock crew, El Bravado and them, who kind of broke DC Go-Go into the market. Yeah. And with me having the street knowledge of the inner city Richmond, I kind of balanced the two worlds together. And that's how I kind of jumped into the lane I'm in now, which is more of the inner city and, you know, sprinkling with that go-go with it.
Yeah, so, and before I get too deep in this interview, let me just share this with you. Lately, I have been struggling with I've been very impulsive. I might ask questions without, and I've been off lately. I'm like, you know, I've been off lately, man. I've just been saying whatever I've been thinking. So if I go too far, I'm gonna let you know I'm working on it.
Good,
it's been rough. The past week has been rough, man. So let me, because I'm about to go there.
Right.
You coming up, if you a dancer and you a young man at this time in your life, man, I know that the women are liking the dance. I mean, that's something that naturally caters to them, all right? And you came up in a time where light skin was cool, you know what I'm saying? And you playing music, and when you think about the people who dance, you know what I'm saying? You got the ability to cater to a multicultural demographic. I'm glad I said that good, because I might have went somewhere else. So what was the transition like with the ladies from the dancer to the DJ?
Well, actually, it was a lot.
You still look like you're 28 years old right now, and I'm just trying to put it in all perspective.
No, but actually, it was a lot better because the dancing movement at that time, you know, the breakdancing, everything was starting to fade. Yeah, it was starting to fade out. It was starting to fade out. So the DJs and the rappers were starting to be the it thing. So I knew I wasn't good at rapping. So I was like, let me choose DJ to pay my bills.
That's right. All right. Yo, so
and what's up on that part right there? What's up to Skills? Because Skills can relate. Me and him was together back in that time.
That was it. And and shout out DJ Cool, because DJ Cool came on. I was really happy I had him on the show, and he really talked about that bridging those, you know, dropping down to Virginia. I mean, he's talking about Ivory's and all of the good stories. And so you was 15 when you started DJing. Who inspired you?
Oh my God. The guys that I was an intern for years, El Bravado and DJ Fresh. El Bravado has a film business here in Richmond, independent Black film business. They were like an old school guy named J Love used to host parties. DJ Cool. Oh my goodness. They were the major influences back then.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what, man. I really got on my
homework. Sam the Beast too. Sam the Beast, love it.
Yeah. And I love it. I love for you to bring the names in, because to me, I feel like part of this is we got to connect with people. You know what I'm saying? Hey, let people have their moment to shine. I was so impressed with the interview I watched recently, man. Like, you really got your ear to the street. Like, you were one of those DJs, because I talk to all types of folks, right? So like, I'm a boom bap fan of music, but you know, if the streets is talking, I'm listening. And I noticed, like, you got a mix. You got tape coming out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you dropping names. You know who the artists in the city that are hot. And I thought that was the thing in the most recent interview you did. That's really what intrigued me, because every DJ don't know. Every DJ does not know who's hot in the city. Some DJs only know what's mainstream. Or what they like, you know what I'm saying? Because they got to cater to the demographic, to the club they in, or, you know, what they got to play. But you know what's going on. So like where does that come from in regard? I'm not gonna say where it come from.
Right.
I'm talking right now in your career. And you mentioned your son. I mean, what keeps you engaged to the street?
Right now, I realized where I'm at in life, if I want to continue to appreciate the culture and be a player in this culture, that I have to be open-minded to listen to the young people. You know what I'm saying? If I don't want to be a part of this culture right now, then I feel like I need to move on to the old school or wherever, something different. But if I want to be a major player in this game, I have to keep an open mind. I can't just be like, oh man, I'm not feeling that. I have to listen to others around me. And like you said, my son, he's very into, his ear is so intriguing to what's going on now that I do listen to him, Then not just him, I start listening to his friends, because I realized they telling him things that he just didn't know. So man, it's a broad world when it comes to this generation now. And it's hard. I'm telling you, it's hard to be a player in this game of hip hop for this culture if you're not willing to listen to the young people.
Yeah, man. Like obviously you listening to the folks, like what's the engagement like outside of just listening to the music?
Yeah.
Like, what's your engagement from a DJ standpoint? Because I heard you in a recent interview talk about like you gave game to coach them in regard to if you want your music played, you got to engage.
Yeah.
Don't come to me in the club playing something like this if it ain't gonna move the crowd like that.
Right.
You was giving it to them, right?
So like right now, if I want to prime example, if I'm hearing about a young artist and I'm hearing about them, but I can't go to their social media and see nothing they're doing to show me that they have over 1,000 other people that's hearing about them. Yo, I'm gonna keep it real. I might don't pay attention to it because right now digital numbers mean so much to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like if you love your craft, then you're gonna make others around you, your family, your friends, and they're gonna help spread your craft. So that keeps me going when I see numbers with young people on digital. So then if I see those numbers, I may go to a lot of times young people always invite me to their affairs and I appreciate that. Yeah. So a couple of times I might be like, you know what, bro? I'm gonna come to your video shoot because I see you got 20,000 followers, you got 20,000 people that's rocking with you. So I might need to rock with you. So I'm that type of guy. If I have that free time, I'm gonna go and check out that young person to see what's happening. Or I might hit them in the DM and be like, look, bro, your numbers look really good. Send me something that's clean and let me see, how my people, react to it. And for real, if they give me the alley-oop, Randy, I'm gonna dunk it for them.
Yeah. There were some names I heard you mention that you was rocking with, but then there was a few names there was a couple of names I didn't hear you mention, which kind of surprised me, and I might drop them real quick. I mean, you talk about Lil Kiddo, FNF Chop, I think we all know they've been doing a thing.
Yes, sir.
But it was a kid that you didn't mention.
I forgot so many.
Yeah, I know. But I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you what I noticed right now. Like sometimes I'll just go see what's going on within this. I'll test the water. Like I caught myself somewhere. I was like, man, they gotta be 18 to 23. Sometimes I like, but I'm gonna tell you what I see, man. I'm gonna tell you what I see that I don't remember seeing when I was that age. And I don't feel like I'm showing age. Because I don't feel like it was that long ago.
Right.
I was in a club. I was in the main stage.
Mm-hmm.
And Fresh Porter was there. And Fresh Porter got Young Crazy. And it's another guy that Jackson Ward. Light-skinned guy.
Rio and Chop Ties.
Rio, that's who I didn't hear. I don't know if I heard you say Rio. Listen.
Hey, those dudes right there to me are they're like gods. Or you know what I'm saying? They're like gods, like without even having to reach out. When I see a balled out Rio or a Trap Ties Kai, not to put them on a pedestal, like they already are I don't want to say they're given, but they already so solidified in the city that I don't even question their music when I get it.
Yeah, it's solidified. And
Oh
look,
man,
what I saw in the club though was
oh my
that
God,
they was actually not only the music is there, but they was playing the part though. And when I say playing
man,
the part, like they really had girls, they really had money, and they really
yes,
had bottles.
yes.
And if someone like cropped that image and took the main stage sign out, you might have not thought it was Richmond in that moment. I was like, yo, I ain't gonna lie. I don't think 10 years ago, the city was on fire like that in the club.
Right now, they're the ones who you don't even have to mention really because they have conquered it. They can charge whatever they want to go and perform. A promoter should pay them what they want because they're gonna bring them a crowd. They are out there doing solidified songs. You know what I'm saying? They have done their research and they straight. Even on G Sambo, like G Sambo. Oh, he's another god. Oh, he's a
I
god.
mean, for real, those young men right now, for real, like club owners, promoters, probably should be throwing them something to come in the club. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? They probably should throw them something. If they
yeah,
are, if they not, I don't know. Maybe they are. Maybe I don't know, but it should be happening. But a couple other young artists I like to shout out,
yeah, with a fresh
particularly,
porter too. I have a chance. I got to build with him. Have to talk to him. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, man, definitely. Fresh Porter is he working real hard. But I'm gonna tell
Yep.
you what, man. If I put myself in the artist position, and if they watching the podcast, they like, yo, talking to Sir RJ, drop my name. There's two artists' name I drop. Particularly, it would be I like Rizzy Rax. You familiar with him?
Yeah, I'm familiar with it. Yep. Yep.
I like Rizzy Rax, and I would say that King Delta opened me up to recognizing that I'm not paying attention to what a lot of people are. So like
Right.
initially, I wasn't really there. You know what I'm saying? But then I started recognizing, I was like, okay, I see. Like it's it's a sound,
It's the
and
same.
once you
Yeah.
understand the sound, so shout out to all the young artists, man, and shout out
Man,
to
you
you for
love him,
rocking with
man.
them. Shout out to you for rocking with them and connecting and staying engaged. Um,
And Randy was crazy. I had seen a comment. It was like, yo, he forgot Rio and Kai. And to me, I'm like, yo, man, they already in the major league. They already in the show.
yo, man, so I saw some comments from like some recent guests, man, and I thought it was special, man, to see that, like, well, first off, before I even get into that, listen, DJ RJ, IPower 92, you can catch them Monday through Friday from 3 to 7 with Honeybee. They buzzing, you know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And I think that's so dope. She's back in the city, you know what I'm
I love it.
saying?
I love it.
That's a great situation. We talking about having on the show as well. But want to make sure that folks know that. That's where you can catch them. So let me ask you this, RJ, because like this is really interesting to me in a market like
Mhm.
Richmond, kind of small market. You know what I'm saying? It's interesting to me how I'm curious of a little bit of radio politics because
Mhm.
like you and I power, but you've been at 106.5 to be.
So I was there for like, damn, man, 18, 16 years.
But but not only you, like a lot of people, it's like, what happens like when you've had a career like yourself? And
Mhm.
I think only certain people can speak about it. You can speak on it, Nat can speak on it,
Right.
like the foot, like there's certain people who can speak on it because they've been in the game, in the industry for a minute.
Right.
But like when you're looking over the course of years in an industry, in a market, what kind of is it radio politics that causes the back and forth, or like what? You know what I'm saying? And
Um,
versus when you have a personality and a DJ that chooses to
uh-huh.
like exit the market like a honeybee
Uh-huh.
and maybe come back, or exit the market like a Dominique the diva. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
I want some radio politics.
Like sometimes it's not your decision. Sometimes, the company might feel like, well, we want to go this direction, we want to do a syndicated thing or something different, and you have no choice but to leave that station, or sometimes you have to leave the whole entire market and go somewhere different. We can't control it because we don't own the companies. Fortunately, I've been blessed to have been at 106 the years I was at 106. It was a growth spurt time for me to try something. I felt like I wanted to do something different. If I wanted to move, I decided I wanted to move to Florida. I mean, that's still, on my shoulders. But I was like, if I don't go to Florida, I'm gonna stay in my city, and I want to do something else that's going to benefit my career, my direction on what I want to go. You know what I'm saying? Now, when I was at 106, man, I love those people, man. Mike Street was one of the best PDs I ever had in life, man. Wonderful dude. And he taught me so much all the way back from University of Richmond at WDCE 90.1. Street was over there holding us down. So I learned so much there that then in 2020, I was like, yo, you know what? Everything I've learned, I'm ready to grow and try something else. Am I gonna go to Florida now? Not right now, because I have a chance to come to Power.
You try to go to Florida and start dancing. I don't know, man. I know you was breakdancing, but for me, I feel like you could do one of those other things. I feel like you could be out there with you know what I'm saying?
And I might have to start shooting out there. I don't know. But now, real talk, man, I said, I had a good chemistry with the guy who came to town that took over on Radio 1. And I was like, yo, what the hell, man? Let me just stay here and ride it out and see where my career goes. And so far, it's been a blessing for the last 2 years.
Yeah, look, man. I've known about you since I came to Virginia in 2003. And I do my homework, call certain DJs and tap in, like, yo, what you think I should ask?
What you think we do? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, and the one thing that came up about you though is that you loyal to your city, but you can do a show anywhere in Virginia. You can pull up anywhere in Virginia.
Right.
So tell me a little bit about, how you've approached navigating the market, because you was navigating the market before social media was really
right.
What it is now.
I mean, this has always been my formula, and I try to pass it on to other people, other DJs, other people in the business. And I like I said, I love my city. Granted, you're right, I love it to death. But I always took the outside lane. Instead of me, if I had a residency in a club in Richmond, I would do it maybe once a week. Satellite is a good example. I would do it on Thursday. But you wasn't going to catch Sir RJ in the city Friday, Saturday, and Sunday unless it was a special occasion. Because Virginia was so big, I wanted to get my name. I wanted to get my name in Roanoke, Lynchburg, Charlottesville, Harrisonburg, Farmville, Cumberland, Charleston. I wanted to have Norfolk. I wanted to have Sir RJ everywhere. So Randy, you probably know, for the longest time, I just stayed outside the city DJing so I could conquer Virginia. And to me, that's probably
why I knew you when I came here, because I came here in 2003. And I came from Southwest. I went to school out in Southwest Virginia, but way out there. But I was coming back and forth to Richmond. I was dropping in the Roanoke's, the Lynchburgs, the Danvilles. I was all over Virginia in that transition of my life. And I feel like when I came to Richmond and I heard you on the radio, it didn't sound new to me.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's always been, to be honest with you, it's still my formula is to do outside of Richmond. But Richmond has emerged so much right now that I am in the city more. I am at the big spots, the most it spots, like the cities on Broad Street, or, and then I still want to cater to the streets. So I'm at the Satellite on the South Side, or you might find me at Trios. So I still want to do stuff here. But Randy, you're right, man. You was hearing me in Roanoke, Harrisonburg, Virginia Tech, everywhere.
Yeah. Them college days. I had to be. So tell me this, man. Tell me this. You got the main 3 to 7. That's like a prime time spot.
Yes, sir.
You and Honeybee. What's it like working with Honeybee?
Oh man, that's family, man. That's like we never left where we left off at years ago. She's seasoned, she's a vet. She's so busy. She has a career, so she's really busy. But for her to make time to come to the station and help me out and do what she does, man, I'm just happy to have her in the room with me.
I think what speaks to you is that through this COVID situation, correct me if I'm wrong, but you've been consistent on the radio. Am I correct?
Yeah.
So to make sure I wasn't missing, you've not missed a beat. A lot of DJs lost money, didn't
Right.
spend. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of DJs right now that's DJing, and they may be on the radio, but everybody ain't getting checks. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You've
Right.
been running through this thing full time, like,
Yeah.
and that speaks a lot to you as a DJ, but it
Mhm.
also speaks to you as a person and a man, probably just knowing how to navigate and work within the industry and the network. So
Yeah, I mean,
kudos to you for that, man.
the radio one, you know what I'm saying? They let me grind through the COVID because I mean it was rough, you know what I'm saying? And they downsized at one point to where I was the only one in the building. I was the only one just on just running with the whole station, except for my PD, my OM.
Yeah.
So I'm just glad they let me, they kept me through the transition.
I ain't gonna lie, I threw that pass up there just for him to stump real quick because I kind of know. I've been hearing just, I talk to people all the time, and I heard like radio been tough for folks. You know what I'm saying?
Hell,
So,
bro. Hell.
you know,
And you know what, Randy? What really hurts me is like, suppose me and you had a son or daughter that was in communications on 2020 and in 2021, and they was graduating. Man, they couldn't get no internship.
yeah, I lost you.
Oh,
Yo,
so I hear
I
you.
can hear you now. Okay,
Uh,
go ahead.
so if we had kids at 2020 or 2021 that was graduating from college,
Yeah, man.
they
That's
couldn't
up.
do nothing.
Yo, look at you, man. Speaking of interns, now, so you told me before the show we would. So Dominique the Diva was not your first intern, or she
No, my
was?
first intern was Lily Chanel. She's on 106 now doing a midday.
Okay, okay.
And
But she,
Lily was at the radio station as she was, I think she was in like what's the military school? I think Franklin Military. She was in one of the
Franklin,
military
yeah.
schools. Yes, she was coming in as a youngin doing internship back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been riding with 106 for a minute. And she's finally had an opportunity now, you know what I'm saying, on the air on a regular basis. So I'm so proud of her, man.
Yeah, man. I like those opportunities we can shout them out. I don't know why I was thinking Dominique was your intern.
Dominique was second.
Okay, okay,
Dominique
okay,
was Dominique found me back when Facebook was popping, when she was in
okay.
Virginia State.
Yeah,
And I just liked her energy. She was about to graduate, and her energy, that speaks volume. Like her energy to capture me to bring her in as an intern was over Facebook, bro. Like her message
yeah.
was so
She's really that good though, man. Like she is really that good, man. She's hilarious, man.
a fool. Yes.
And I saw the engagement and through the chat, so I wanted to make sure I brought that up. Uh, you know,
That's my dog.
Trap Man, Trap Mania 7. So like, do you got a bunch of trap? You got 7 Trap Manias?
Yeah, I altogether I have 12, but I went back and redid some. And that's been
Mm-hmm.
my marketing plan as far as me staying relevant in the streets. I take the inner city, artists
Yeah.
and street music, and I put together mix CDs, and they're at djsarj.com.
Yeah, so I kind of know some of the artists that you rock with right now in the city. What about some of the young DJs, like young DJs you see coming up?
Oh man. One of the guys I just talked to the other day, man, I told him, I said, anytime I can find something that's opening for you, I'm gonna look out on Young Irv. He's a good dude, man.
Young Herb, yeah, I've seen that on the internet.
Oh man, so man, you got me in the spot right now. If I forget somebody, they're gonna hate me, man.
My
What's
bad.
that? Hey man, dude went to Virginia State. I talk to him all the time. There's so many, bro. I cannot think right now. I'm stuck. Got K
It's all
Light,
good.
everybody. Yeah.
It's all
DJ
good.
Dollar, man. That's my number one there. That's my dog.
It's all good. It's all good. I mean, I think that's I think Virginia is known for DJs and producers, in
Mhm.
my opinion, better than more so than artists. I mean, not
Yeah,
saying that we got artists, but a lot of times when you think about artists, you think about the staples. You think about the mainstay. You know what I'm saying? You think about this. You always gonna hear the Timbaland and Pharrell. You always hear that. They ain't going nowhere. I'm really oftentimes looking for the other. Yeah, who's popping? Like who's in the shadow?
DJ Two Trill. DJ Two Trill. What up, Two? Yeah, Two Trill, definitely. Yep.
Yeah, man. Oh, so yeah, I know. Take It Off. We was looking at that. So talk to me about the Take It Off. It's about to hit 100,000 on
Oh
YouTube.
man, the Take It Off record. It was originally made by Sam the Beast from the East. I did a remix in 2002. From 2002 to now, it's been 20 years. It's the anniversary. We tip it in at like 93,000 right now, maybe almost 94.
No, you up? It's like 97, 98. It's coming up.
Yeah. So we hanging in there with it, and I'm so man. If anybody says anything bad about TikTok, man, I hate y'all because TikTok has been a lifesaver to me. Is definitely bringing the revenue in. So I love how they've taken my song, and come up with a dance to it. And right now it's East Coast wide. I'm hoping it spreads for real, Randy. But they do it at the reunions, the weddings, and I don't know where it started with a guy named Frank D and some other people here in Richmond. And for it to spread, it's the social media. I love it.
Yeah. Hey, so you getting TikTok checks? I'm in your pockets.
Don't come. I don't want nobody to come and look for no bag.
Yeah, you don't want to do that, man. You don't want to do that.
No, man.
Look, and he got that chain on and shit. People gonna be like, oh no,
I ain't got time for it.
No TikTok checks, no TikTok checks.
No, I ain't got no check.
RJ, how do you stay looking so young, man? Like, do you like eat good and exercise? Like, what are you doing?
Hey, look, man, I appreciate it, bro. I mean, honestly, when I just stopped doing, and thanks to a special friend of mine, I just stopped drinking alcohol. Right now, I might have a drink or two when I go out to celebrate with friends. Other than that, man, I drink a lot of water all the time. I don't eat right, but water is the key. And yeah, I do. I play basketball like almost every day. So
that's crazy. Man, you say stop drinking alcohol, drink water, and I don't eat right.
If I'm going out with friends, I will turn all the way up. If I'm going out with friends, but other than that, I'm done.
Man, kudos to that, man. I guess you get to a place in life. I'm not there yet, man.
Hey, but look, Brad, I'm gonna tell you the hardest thing, and you're gonna be surprised, man. It's Mountain Dew, bro. I can't let it go.
Well, if that's the hardest thing, I'm all right, man. I'm good because I don't drink soda. I drink water, I drink milk, and I drink alcohol.
That's why you look young. Straight.
Water, milk, and alcohol. You know what I'm saying? That's it, man. No soda. I used to drink a lot of coffee, but I went through a bad state of prostatitis, and I'm going to drop that for you guys, for anyone who, somebody like, man, what is he going into his personal health for? Because I'm willing to take a moment to connect with somebody. If you listen to this part of the interview and you're a man, you better get familiar with what prostatitis is, because if you don't learn about it now, when you hit that feeling, you could be like, what's going on?
What's going on with my body? Yeah.
Learn about those things. So coffee, I took a stop from coffee, but coffee, alcohol, they got all, it's goals, right? Goals.
Yeah. I mean, and it's still the devil touching me all the time. Like I said, I still have a drink here and there and turn up, which I don't need to do that no more. But at the same time, the only time the devil be winning when I walk by the fridge at Sheets and I see a Pepsi or Mountain Dew. It's like,
hey, man.
You got me, bro.
Hey, you're doing all right, man. If it's the sodas is pulling you in, you're doing all right, man.
All right, that's what's up.
We've approached the fourth quarter of the show. But before we do, man, I gotta, in the last quarter, I do a lot of random, impulsive. I'm completely off the whim. Like I'm not thinking. I'm just gonna ask you something. I'm gonna, you can pick a number. We can play a little game. Before I get there, though,
I'm turning my head. Hold up. I just
go.
I had to turn my head around. I gotta think.
Yeah, I'm about to get there. We can get there. So I'm just gonna ask you some stuff. before I do that, real serious question. I want to say this. I appreciate you taking the time to do the show. And in the interview that I checked out prior, and I listened to every bit of it, and I listened to it, and I wondered what was in the other part because I heard about the hard drive situation. Y'all got more content. There's some more stuff. So I was like, was there anything that you do an interview, you think about it, you listen to it. What things did you not mention and talk about that you feel like you wish you should have? Because I don't want to get out of this show without getting it out.
Hey man, one thing
because you giving game right now. You in a mode right now that I see you like trying to give back.
Yeah,
and I want to maximize the opportunity for you to give back, to give jewels, to share information, because you seem to see hip hop in a different space right now than it was. If you can expand on that, I want to do that before I get into the recklessness.
And I'm gonna try to summarize it as easy as I can. From then, when I say from then, from my era coming up, early 90s, late 80s, early 2000s to now, the game is yours. The game back then, we had to go and make it ours. And what I mean by that is the old Master P days where you was riding around from store to store, dropping your music off. You were like going from hood to hood, making sure people had the mix CDs, all of that. It was a grind, like I said, and I'm gonna use Skills as an example. When he first got the Nod Factor deal and all that, I think it was Big Beat, Atlantic, and all of that back in the day. Man, we were so happy for him because we had knew the struggle and how he was grinding so hard in the streets to do everything. Just thinking about like that era to now, where we have social media, where we have, I still call it, people might not like them sometimes, but I still call it the Soulja Boy area with the YouTube to where we had with the TikTok. Man, if somebody like Soulja Boy can milk it years ago to where we are in TikTok, there's no excuse why we can't manipulate the social media game with this genre we're in now. Young people, it's in your hands, it's in your fingers. I don't care if you locked up behind the wall, you can still find a way to get there and manipulate the social media to make it work for you, to get your grind on. I wish if we would have had this back then, that Taking Our record probably would have been 100,000 back then. So what I'm trying to tell people now is like, I see the opportunity and I hear all the talent, man, there's so much talent in Richmond, Petersburg, it's ridiculous. So just get your grind out, make sure your numbers are good digital-wise, and submit it. Like, I don't care if you submit me a song 100 times in my Gmail, I'm gonna respond. But eventually, if I see your damn numbers at 20, 30,000, I'm gonna respond by playing it regardless. So I think that's what young people don't have to, sometimes they don't get it. Like, it's not about the DJs not trying to rock with you. Sometimes rock with yourself, and we're gonna come there to find out. Like, me and Lonnie B just had a discussion the other day on Ball Out Rio. Lonnie was like, yo, RJ, I Lonnie talk, RJ, yo, that dude, he is doing it. I was like, yo, Lonnie, he's killing. He said, man, I love his grind. So when you got big, heavy star DJs like Lonnie B telling me like, yo, RJ, I love this guy. You know how that means a lot when somebody like him says that.
Yeah.
So that means I see those artists getting to the key players like him. Yeah. And I love it. So I'm like, yo, man, y'all, let's just keep this thing going.
Yeah.
Keep it moving. That's it, really.
Yo, so which that made me think about something else. And again, you a radio vet in the game. Social media is, been popping for the past, it's been heavy. I say heavy since MySpace. So let's just say 15 years heavy, right?
Yep, exactly.
I don't understand something. First off, I remember having this conversation with Mike Street. And I also remember the question that AWOL asked you about digital, because all right, so Mike Street and I had this conversation. because he was basically, he was speaking to the fact that radio, FM radio, um, is the number one place where music is consumed, and mainly because it's free.
Exactly. Yep.
Would you agree?
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree.
Push back. I'm gonna push back on that a little bit. I mean, I don't know if I'm pushing back. I'm just thinking about, and then he made the argument, and he made the argument. He did. He made the argument that radio also has the ability to be digital. So like you can consume radio by FM dial, or you can consume radio through digital. I guess my thing though is that when people listen to the radio though, like people, I'm not familiar with people going to the internet to peep FM stations. Am I old? Well, like because I'm familiar with. First off, I listen to radio. First off, I listen to more.
Right.
I listen to more XM radio than probably anything.
Right. That makes sense.
But I listen to a lot of radio. But I just think about this market that we in right now. I think about the power of phones. I think about how when you wake up in the morning, you probably look at your phone before you check your voicemail. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that matters. So when I look at radio, so to make my point, I wonder where I'm going with this. When I look at radio and its popularity, and then I think about it being a number one place where music is consumed, but then when I look at social media, radio stations, digital marketing, digital, like you talking about numbers. You're talking about, you look at RDC numbers. When I look at IPower, I see ESPN, I see IPower, I see, I look at all the radio one things. I mean, I look at Praise, I'm looking at their digital stuff.
Yeah, but you got to realize
the numbers not there. The numbers are with RJ. The numbers are with Honey B. The numbers with Alani B. The numbers are with the personalities. The numbers are not with the stations. So if a DJ, I'm an artist, if a DJ comes to me and they say, keep doing your thing, get your numbers up, boom, 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 boom. I'm listening to you as a DJ because you own the radio station. In my opinion, you are what adds value to the radio station. Because when I look at the radio station, even though I know it's the machine, if I don't see the digital streams there, and I'm just going based off the listening, in my mind, I know I'm only gonna get my song played within a certain time frame, probably. I'm not gonna get my song played by a DJ. The chances of it being at 4 or 5 o'clock are a lot lower than they are at 1 or 2 in the morning.
Oh yeah, of course.
So where is the radio shit? Because the radio is slacking when it comes to digital numbers.
Well, yeah, you got to realize now the digital world has just, when it comes to radio, AM, FM, am I right? That's how it's been since we was born. So now with the digital world coming to radio, yeah, they're embracing it and they're doing what they can right now to blow it up. But nothing right now is going to, for the meantime, it's not outdoing, like you said, the personality that you hear on the FM or AM or whatever. So at 5 o'clock, when Lonnie B comes over the hard drive and 5 mix, I don't care what you got on the YouTube or whatever you listen to, they're going to turn it on because they know that name and they know that mix. And
but why is it not why does that not transfer over to social media to benefit the radio station?
Oh, so why is it not going to the digital numbers?
Yeah, why? I mean, I'm really curious about, like, if I go look at iPower right now, whatever the last post is on Instagram.
Yeah, and I mean, and to be honest with you, that's almost every market except for like an Atlanta or New York. You know what I'm saying? The people in the market, they catch on a little slower to the fact that, hey, man, I can listen to that radio on digital. I don't have to just turn it on in my car. So eventually, yeah, they got to catch up with the digital market, to get going. But it's happening, you know what I'm saying? As far as
I rock with the radio station. I rock with the stations first and foremost.
Yeah.
I rock with them. I really find that interesting. I haven't connected with that. And the reason why I bring it up is because sometimes I've tried to collaborate with certain marketing campaigns. And respectfully, I haven't seen a lot of value in the social media purpose of the marketing, because I look at the social media and the radio station, I'm like, Y'all not really making, you know, when checking in. People checking in with a personality is like if a radio personality came to me and said, yo,
yeah. But you just got, I mean, you gotta utilize it and do a whole package with it. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna get commercials, just on the FM, is on the station, and do the whole thing.
Gotta get the commercials. You got,
Yeah,
the commercial.
man.
The air, to me, the airplay is more valuable than the social media. I think that's what I'm saying. If you say, look,
You gotta balance it. Yep.
I'm doing this CarMax thing, and by the way, such and such is gonna, you connect all the people to it on the radio, it works. I'm gonna get back. Look, I don't want y'all radio people getting mad at me. All right,
No,
I'm gonna tag y'all in all these posts.
You have to balance the worlds. Like,
it's conversation. This is conversation that you can only have on a podcast, because radio ain't talking about this, but they playing music.
No, but I mean, but it's real. Like, I mean, that's a real valid point. Like, you can't expect to just go to a radio station, say, hey, man, I just want to buy this digital thing. Man, bro, you need to buy the station and the digital package together to make it both, all work. You know
because if somebody said, yo, I was just listening to the radio and I heard RJ shout out the radio was a podcast.
Yeah.
Yo, that's better. That's better. That's better than if I get 5 likes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, 5.
Hey, scared money don't make no money. You got to spend the money both worlds.
Yo, we're going to spin that around, man. Thank y'all for staying tuned in through that whole conversation. I still try to gather some game through the conversation. So sometimes sometimes it's a selfish conversation.
No,
all right. But people need to peep that game though. You know what I'm saying? But so random, impulsive, no thought. I'm just coming off the cuff. I'm gonna ask you about 10 questions or so, just to see, to help myself and others get more familiar with RJ. But you got an alter ego too. What's the alter ego name?
Oh, Richie Savage. I came up with that about 8 years ago. I started doing so many young parties. I didn't want my true Sir RJ people to get mixed up. Like, oh, we're going to the Sir RJ party, but it's NBA Youngboy Kodak Black all night. So I come up with the Richie Savage because, like I said, Randy, man, I'm blessed that the young people call me every week to DJ the parties. You know what I'm saying? Because I still keep up with it. Not too many guys can stay in the game and keep going with it.
You doing that. You definitely doing that, man. And I think that it's a testament to you too, just because you staying in the game. You staying in the mix. Like you're not forcing yourself right now at this place in your career to say that I'm only doing these kind of, you wanna do all of them. So kudos to you for that, man. Kudos. That's part of the reason why you still look 29, 30. I mean, that's good for you. So off the cuff, man, I'm not thinking, yo, I'm just gonna I don't know. Okay. Forgive me before I say something crazy, all right?
I got you, bro.
You ready for the first one?
Yo, hit me, man.
All right, titties or ass?
Oh, ass.
Just off the gate. He said you was so good. All right, man. Off the gate, man. So like you said you eat unhealthy. So that means you eat like bacon, sausage, you eat whatever you want to eat.
Almost.
So COVID didn't send you into those vegan, vegetarian, I'm only gonna eat chicken and fish situation. No, you still eating whatever you want to eat.
Yeah, that's real. Yep.
See, and that's the consequence of you standing around these young people, man, because they eating bad, and so like you just eating whatever you want, man. Come on, RJ, man. Come on.
Hey, look, man.
Come on, man.
I'm 168 pounds, so I mean, I can afford to eat ugly breakfast.
See, all right, man. Yo, who's your top 3 favorite artists under 30 in the game right now?
Oh man, right now,
under 30.
Under 30? Yo, I love Youngboy, man. Youngboy, I'm liking Big right now. Ooh, the wave got me. Oh, I'm a Big Boogie fan too. I can't lie. I like Big Boogie, and of course, Lil Baby. You know what I'm saying?
What about the Baby?
Huh?
What about the Baby?
I like the Baby. I think I would be rocking with the Baby that first came out. You know what I'm saying? Okay. As he started developing into the mainstream world and stuff like that, I feel his pockets. That's why he's doing it.
Yeah. Okay. Yo, so young RJ, who's your celebrity crush?
Ooh, if I was a young RJ right now, man. Yo, what's that little shorty name? Damn, man, yo, I got a few of them, man.
Oh, it's okay.
Moneybagger
I mean,
Ari broke
I won't limit you. I won't limit you.
Moneybagger Ari broke up because I like Ari. I like her. Sometimes I like the hood fly, like Monty Brazy, man. Like sometimes I like them little joints like that. This hood, but still fly sexy.
Yeah.
It's a few though. It's too many, right? Yeah, it's a few. But
Yeah. All right.
yeah. But you get the idea.
All right.
I can go from that to that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. But when you was younger, RJ, was there someone like that you was really?
Man, you talking about Yo back in the day growing up?
Yeah.
Oh man, I thought I was married to Moni Love.
Yo, Moni Love, she was on Drink Champs recently. I don't know if you saw the episode or not, but like she got that accent, you know what I'm saying? And Moni Love
she got
still
that
fire.
British accent.
She's still fire. Yeah.
Man, Moni Love still bad. Yes.
Who's your favorite MC of all time?
Rakim.
Rakim?
Yep.
So that's just because he's your favorite. Do you think he's the best MC of all time?
Oh, no.
Is there any such thing? Is there any such thing?
As the best from different eras. Like me growing up, it was Rakim. And then I was a Nas fan before I was a Jay-Z fan. Okay. And so of course I had to take Nas back during the battle with him and Jay-Z. But the hottest lyricist is Hov.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. We agree on that one.
Yeah.
Total package. I mean, he's my favorite. I mean, he's my favorite. And I just think it's really hard to argue it because he got content, he got lyrics, he got lifestyle, he got Beyonce. He just got so many. He got business acumen. He just, this is, I think Hov has taught us. He's kind of provided a model and example on how to be an entrepreneur and be diverse in multiple lanes. So like,
it's definitely it's undeniable. I mean, Biggie, of course, but just taking, like you just said, everything you just said, man, it's Hov.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, are you a consumer of radio? Like, do you like listening to personalities?
I love listening to personalities when I go to different cities.
Say that again? When
I go to different cities, I love to see what they're doing that I'm not doing.
Anyone particular to stand out to you that you like to listen to?
Oh man. When I'm in Philly, I flip through every Philly channel to listen. I even flip to the old school to the new school, from Cosmic Kev, the Touchtone, even Lady B with her podcast. I would listen to everything. Philly's my favorite market when it comes to on-air personalities.
Got you. Did you have any involvement with Paris Nicole? I think she's in the Philly market.
Paris was my third intern, and she can tell the story better than me because Paris' memory is immaculate. But she was working on the street team. Paris would come to work, on some Kardashian, her gear, everything just to do street team work was phenomenal. And she was so articulate. She was grabbing any knowledge she could from Hampton radio station because she was attending Hampton at the time. She was so mannerable, just a good spirited person. I knew her dad from owning Ivory's. So I asked her to come and do some intern work with me after Dominique left. And that's from there, Paris went to
Steve Branch. Steve Branch is a legend. Shout him out, man.
Yo, Steve Branch, salute, bro. Yeah. But Paris was my intern. And right now she's the program director in Philly. Like she's doing it. I'm proud of her. She's killing it. Killing it.
She is, man. Definitely. I love, that's one of the things about podcasting I love is like, the opportunity to really like tell people how much you appreciate them and you value them,
Yeah.
Well, I'm about to close up, man, but I want to just kind of get, in as few words as you can, show recognition and love. Show love and give love to like some of the folks that you came up with in the game and the radio, you know what I'm saying, that have just been like, because you came up with a demographic of people who've been consistent. I mean,
Yeah.
I before the show, I watched you and Foot do interviews
Mm-hmm.
together, you and Lonnie, you know what I'm saying, you and that, you've been in the mix with the Mike Street. So like, what do you think as we close that's special about your era and your you know your peers within the market and how you guys have came up?
Oh man, from day one, man, if it wasn't for my mom taking me to the radio station with a bottle of champagne, asking them to give my son an internship job for the summer, doing anything. And she dropped me off there, like I said, I was at 15. And I never looked back. Those days, of course, Randy, you know, those days are kind of gone. And, you know, it's unfortunate, but looking back into the people who accepted me, Mickey Spencer, Larry Jones, J Love, Z-Rock Crew, the great Jose, Lil Walter back then going into the Aaron Maxwell's, to the Mike Streets, oh man, to where we at now. Matt Myers, the guy who brought me to Power 92, he comes in from Ohio. All of them, man. And it's Kevin Colfax. There's so many legends in the game. They gave me a chance, and they didn't have to give me a chance. You know, so unfortunately, you know, COVID kind of hampered a lot of new talent that's coming out of school. But I look back, man, I was blessed, I'm fortunate, and I'm still here. All the DJs that I learned from, it's just too many to name. But yeah, I appreciate everything, man.
2 questions and we close. There's
Okay.
a picture that was floating around that I saw. You was a young RJ, and it was like Big Daddy Kane. Like you was in the you like tell me about this picture. Like you was around some ghosts. Tell me about that.
Yo, that was the Fresh Fest that came to Richmond. Run DMC, LL Cool J, Rakim, Houdini. Man, back then, my daddy had an Eldorado Cadillac. I had my learner's permit. He let me borrow it. I picked up Run DMC and Russell Simmons. From that day, I took him to my mom's house. My mom cooked chicken. We left there and went to Power 93. It wasn't even Power 92. And Cole Hopper Shopping Center off Mechanicsville. Did an interview, came back to the radio station, remember the Z-Rock Crew, took pictures, and had the concert that night in the Coliseum. I would never forget that a day of my life.
We posted that now. That's a clip right there. Like, how did you get in that position?
I was just I was a damn intern at the time.
And so you just went and got the whip, picked them up, and that's how.
Because now it's a key to that. I lived across the street from the radio station at the time.
Okay. He had radio privilege. He had some radio privilege over there, huh?
Yo, WKIE radio station on Wilkinson Road. It was the AM hip hop station, and my parents' house was across the street. So I was able to go get the whip. And I begged my mom for that.
Can you send me that picture, please?
Oh, of the other, y'all probably can.
No, I haven't seen the picture. I was talking to some DJs. They told me like, yo, you need you need to ask about that.
Oh yeah, I got it.
Yeah. So last
I might post it. I posted for Throwback Thursday.
Yeah, I need to see that, man. I need to see that because I might be able to use that in something I do. But
and the Fat Boys.
Last question, shameless plug. I try to grab one of these every now and then, and we're gonna wrap up. Can you let your audience know why they should rock with the Randy Wilson podcast?
Oh man, the Randy
Wilson
shameless plug, because the Randy Wilson podcast got me on here. It's no excuse. If I rock with a podcast, I rock with a podcast. I said it on the first one I've ever done. Well, shout out to AWOL. That was a couple of weeks ago. I don't do too many podcast stuff because I'm kind of leery about who I reach out to and what I do because I don't know who's going to do, you know what I'm saying, doing so much funny stuff. So if it takes me, and I am Richmond, I'm the city, and I say this man is verified, he's solidified, y'all rock with him. I'm here. I'm going to continue to rock with you, Randy, all day.
I appreciate you, man. That's all I need. That's all I need right there. Thank you. I'll keep that as well. Hope I didn't cause no problems with any of the questions that I asked. I know the radio stuff is tough, man. Them radio questions is tough, man.
That was fun, bro. That was fun.
Yeah, man. But y'all remember, this is Randy Wilson Podcast. You can find this podcast everywhere podcasts are played. Truthfully, except SoundCloud. For whatever reason, they ain't rocking with me. But everywhere else, you can catch it. SoundCloud got a problem. I don't know. Hey, but you know what? Support yours. Who supports you? Go to RandyWilsonPodcast.com. I own that. So thank you all for tuning in. This is episode 98. Who's coming next? I don't know. But just be prepared. We about to hit that century mark. And so we appreciate you guys staying connected with us this whole time. We out.